Greetings to everyone, and welcome to a special episode of BT's on the Fly. Today we're going to be filling a donation fly box, and that box is going to be going to the Fly Fishers International Rendezvous in September, and it's going to be a donation on our part. We cannot attend, but we want to make sure that we show our support for the organization. Now, Gretchen is working on a project. Before we even get into this, this is BT's at work. And let me just show you what we're talking about. You'll be seeing this screen most of the time. I'll be on one side, Gretchen will be on the other. She's working on her fly ride at the moment. But back here, Gretchen is going to slip over here and tell you what she found and what she's doing.
Well, my glue head cement has turned a little bronzy colored, and I'm like, what's going on here? Well, I got to looking, and my vodka that stays in there had gotten a little rusty. So I have, well, that's a little too close, isn't it? I have, you can't really see it, but I
Can't really see, but she's used an emery board to polish it off.
yeah.
You might want to put it over there in front of your vise, and I'll move to that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And that was all dark on the end where the point is, and it stained the doggone glue, but the glue is fine. We've checked it on a couple flies, and it seems to be fine.
So there's the glue. Yeah, it doesn't look colored when you put it on the
Yeah.
black thread. It's not colored enough to affect the black thread. So
Anyway,
I'm ready to go to work.
she's working on a Royal Wulff right now that will go into the box.
But I have this sweatshirt on. Let's talk about that a little bit. Show this here.
Oh, gotcha. Right there.
The little holes in it, the little flowers are kind of distracting. So I'm gonna take that off. Or I could turn it around backwards.
Whatever
It's cold down here. Maybe I'll just turn it around
I was
backwards.
going to say it's pretty chilly.
Yeah.
You want to hand me your
No, I
magnifiers?
like this. Watch this. This is pretty slick here.
Oh. Why don't you get over here on this one?
I'm ready to watch what I'm doing. I'm just slipping my arms out.
Did not know we were going to get to watch a fly tire dressing herself, and the dressing has nothing to do with the hook at this thing.
It feels backwards. I'm not sure about this. Okay.
Now let's move you in behind there. Let's go back to there. Let's see what
kind of straightened out here a little bit. So
see how that works out.
Wrinkles there. Okay.
And that's not nearly as distracting.
Better.
That's not nearly as distracting.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, that's just a little lesson. When you're on camera, sometimes you don't think about some of the things that are on your shirt or blouse or whatever. And my sweatshirt just didn't look that good. So let's go back to my fly.
Yeah, back to the fly. You're on the fly right now.
I started with a Royal Wulff. And what I do is I have setups that Al has made for me. And here's one.
Let me go to the setup on mine that's in mine. There's yours. And in my camera, let me go to that. And there's the setup that I'm tying, and I'll be preparing those for Gretchen. And then I'll be using setups also later to tie a different fly. But let's go back to Gretchen. She's working on that one right now.
I do when I tie a Royal Wulff. I start out with this Danville stretchy nylon in red. And I go ahead and tie my peacock on with that. And then I make sure I've got a nice, smooth body with no peacock showing. Well, I can't see the camera. Let's see here. There we go. I got it. And so then when I get up here, I'll take about 3 turns there and 1 turn by the eye, and then I'll pick up my black thread. And I'm going to tie this off. Yeah, my peacock's in the way. There we go.
And while Gretchen's doing that, switch back here, and I just placed a hook in the vise, and I am going to use white thread to construct the setup. And whenever we have calf tail, we always use white thread to get started, and that you'll see why here in a little bit after I've gone a ways. But I'll just start here at the front of towards the front of the hook, about a third back on the hook eye or the hook shank, and wrap to the end of the shank, and then I'll come back about halfway. Now, while I'm getting materials over here, we're going to go back to Gretchen where she's tying.
I've just finished tying the peacock, and I have some pre-sized tackle. I like to keep a little pre-sized, especially like the 12s, 14s, 16s that we tie a lot of. And when we do Zoom, during Zoom season, when we're doing our Friday night Zooms, I keep some 10s too. So to put this tackle on, I'm going to hold it at an angle and set it right tight up against the shank and just wrap over it. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm kind of covering the red up a little bit so it doesn't show through. It's not going to show through too much. I'm going to come to the front and make a nice platform here for my tackle. Taking about three, 4 wraps behind, and then I always take the wings and hold them. And then as I come around, I pull this way to make sure I'm tied up against those wings so I don't have a gap.
Okay, and I'm going to go to our split screen now so that you can watch both of us while Gretchen's working on that fly over there. I've gathered some material.
Let me just finish this, okay?
Oh, you go right ahead.
Taking just 1, 2 wraps over the end of my hackle. I'm going to pull it back and push
Oh,
the
yeah.
base of it back into it.
Really important for a good tight, good clean head.
Yeah. And then I'm done. I'll just tie that off.
Try that off, and let's make it a um, on camera here. When you get the glue, let's put the first fly in the box,
Okay.
and you'll get to do it.
Well, I got a problem. Yes, I
Like your
did.
jaws are a little bit loose.
Yeah. So I kind of messed up my head a little bit with that little maneuver.
I can't imagine why that would do that.
Let me see if I can. That's not going to come out now.
It's,
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That ought to do it. Little head cement.
now that's looking pretty good, Gretch.
Oop. Yeah, I think that's a keeper.
Okay, good. Let's move over here. And why don't you bring that fly over and we'll put it, what we're using is a Boise Valley Fly Fishers box. And so we're going to include Boise in the mix on this box that we send to FFI Rendezvous. And you want to set this first one in
No,
there?
you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
I'll get it in the slot here. And we'll just hold this up so you all can see fly number one going in the box for the Fly Fishers International Rendezvous. Now, this will be the 2025 Rendezvous in September in Michigan. Anyway, we'll set this aside and continue.
that's size 14. How many 14 Royal Wulffs do you want me to do?
Oh, we probably ought to do about 3, I would think. And I'll finish up over here on my,
Just 3?
if you want to do 4 or 6, we're going to be filling both sides of that box.
Yeah, so I was thinking I'll do maybe 6 and then I'll do some 16s.
Sure, that sounds good. And we've got some of them pre-tied already.
Yeah, we got some, do I have some 18s done
Have to
already?
look and see, yeah.
Yeah, so we
Good.
can probably fill this side up pretty good.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
I'm going to go back now to the my side of the vise, and what I have here is I've just put thread on the hook, and I'm going to tie on a tail and a set of wings, and then that'll go into the box of setups, and then we'll finish the setups by.
I thought you were doing the split screen.
I was just a second ago.
Oh,
Let me get back there. It's a good idea. Let's get back on the split screen. There we go. Yep, thanks. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and stack the hair and put on the tail. And that's just a bundle of that deer hair that you saw a second ago. And I've cleaned out the underfur, and this is a size 14. I need a bundle of hair that is about equal to the outside of the hook eye when twisted half a turn and compared. And that's just a little bit too much. So let's get rid of some of that. There we go. That's looking better. Give it a twist. And that's pretty close to the outside diameter of that hook eye. We'll measure it for length equal to the shank. Set it in place. Drop it down on the side next to me. Couple of snug wraps, and then I'll just kind of tighten up and roll it up in place. And we'll just, there we go. That one's looking pretty good. I'll trim off the waist. And now I'll advance my thread forward to the 1/4 position back from the hook eye. And I'll move over to the materials for just a second and get a small bundle of the calf tail out. There we go. And we're going to have to get rid of some of the waste. And we're going to keep the 3 longest layers of hair right up here where I'm grabbing with my fingers. And the rest of this down here is short and fuzz, and we want to get rid of that. So I rapidly move my finger up and down through those waist ends, and it'll knock that out of there. And I don't want to do that in front of the camera, so I'm just going to move off camera for a moment. Here we go, off camera. And do that over the wastebasket behind my fly tying station. And that's looking pretty good. There we go. I'll just get that in the hair stacker. And I want a bundle of hair about twice the size as the tail. Oh, maybe 1 1/2 times the size or the bulk of the tail to make the wings. And I'll get those wings ready to go. It didn't stack real well. I'm going to put it back in the stacker and stack it again. And that's should be, oh yeah, that stacked a lot better that time. Had some shorties in there that I just didn't want popping up. And I'll pull a couple of these wild ones out that don't want to get with the program, measure them for length, tie them on the side of the hook nearest me, a little bit on the long side so I can pull it back to the length that I want it to be. And I'll just lay the scissors in flat along the waist from the tail so that I can blend the two by trimming flat along there. Now, as I wrap over, you'll notice that they all blend together to make a nice smooth underbody. And the way you get a nice smooth outer body is if you have a smooth underbody. Now, Gretchen, if you want to pick it up, all I'm going to do is stand up these wings and divide them.
Well, I'm just finishing up another eye here. Can't seem to get, there we go. I got enough head cement. So I'll just set that on top of the box and get another one of these pre-prepared setups that Al's done for me.
Okay, now I'm going to divide the wings and take a turn of white thread. Now, that's what I'm saying. We use white thread on calftail wings because we want a nice looking wing without a black thread base at the bottom. I mean, we think that detracts from the overall, I don't know, beauty of the fly. So we just tie the first part of the fly with white thread. Now I'm just going to crisscross between those posted wings just so I can set them in place. And I'm going to tie that off and trim the waist. And now I have a size 14 setup. And for me, I'm going to be doing some humpies using setups.
I think I've got enough over here for me. So.
Okay, well, then I'll get out. We have a bunch of setups that we've prepared over the years. And you got enough 14s there, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I'm good.
Okay. Let's see. I've got
This particular setup, as I started tying it, I'm looking at it, and this happens once in a while, in that I take a look, I have a lot less area here for the eye. So you might kind of want to watch and see how I handle that, because that's kind of tricky. Once in a while, you get a setup that's got just not as much space as you wanted there.
yeah. Now there's a setup that I've finished that I'm going to go turn into a Royal Wulff, or not a Royal Wulff, but a Humpy. And here's a few more that I've pulled out that I'll be also turning them into a Humpies. It could be whatever you want them to be, whatever has a white wing and deer hair tail. There's a whole series of flies that you can make out of that particular, what we call a white wing setup. Anyway, we'll set that aside. And now it's time to get a hackle. Let's see if this hackle is going to be big enough to do the job or whether I need to get something else.
Okay, I'm kind of working my way now. I'm gonna try to get, I would like to get 3 wraps of this. Okay. I'm going to take my 1 wrap over. Now, as you can see, I'm really crowded there. I think you can see it. So pull this back real tight and wrap back over it as best I can.
And I'm getting a grizzly hackle out. I'm just making sure it's size for size 14.
Okay, I'm gonna
That's looking pretty good. And that's what I have there in the,
do a whip finish on this
I'm
one.
going to set that aside. And I need some elk hair.
Now crowding that, I've pushed my hackle back a little bit, but now that I've got uh, whip finish in, I'm gonna come in here and kind of tease this hackle back out away from the wing. So it doesn't look quite so crowded. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Okay, I've gotten some elk hair out, just that I've laid in on top of my deer hair. And I'm going to be using that for the hump on my humpy. And it's going to be I think I'll do a lime colored body, or I'm going to do a fluorescent yellow body.
I want to show something here in just a minute now.
Yeah. What do we do? What do I need to fill the screen with what you're going to be showing, or?
Well, I don't know. Probably not. I now, because it was so crowded, I've got some concern about the eye after I put the head cement on it. So I'm going to take
We're back on.
it goes down below.
Oh, good, good. All right. I want let me fill the screen with this, Gretch, so you can get better see what you're talking about.
Okay, as you can see, it was real crowded.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned about having some head cement in there. So I'm taking a feather and just running it through a little. Oops, it's not going to go through. Well, that's a kludge, isn't it? I'll have to cut this off. There.
Here's a little bit smaller feather if I got laying here if you want to.
Got it cleaned out. The eye's clean, and that's all I care about.
Oh, okay, good. All right, well then let's get back to the side-by-side screens, and I'll get to work on this humpy. I'll start by taking some nylon stretch that I'm going to use for the body, and I'll just start in the middle of the body area and kind of work back and forth a little bit, just so I can kind of build up a little bit there. Oops, it kind of hung up on the hook there.
Well, I've done 4 of these, and so I think I'm going to switch off. I've got a couple of some post type
Parachutes.
parachutes, yeah. So I'm thinking maybe I'll tie a couple of maybe about 4 Adams parachutes.
Mm. There we go. That's better. Oh, righty. I'm going to get over here and get some elk hair for the hump on this fly. And I only want the very longest hairs. So all of those short ones, they have to go away. And I'm going to go out over the waste bin again to get rid of all that and the fluff and all that kind of stuff. So that all we have is the longer hairs. That makes it a little easier to tie that hump. And Looks just about right. Okay, tighten that up really tight. Now I'm just going to loosely wrap over to the back so that I can cinch it up tight there. And I want you to see how I'm capturing air in that bundle of hair, and it just helps flotation. And we'll just cover wrap over all of that now, but I'm using snug but not real tight wraps so I don't compress the air out of that hair. And now I'm going to pull this over, and here's a really important thing when tying any kind of a hair that's pulled in any direction, one way or the other. You cannot pull the hair tight. It has to be pushed tight. You can kind of pull it over and get it into position, and then I'm going to take my trigger finger on my left hand and push right here at the fold over position, and then stroke forward. And that really tightens things up. You'll never get it tight by pulling on it. All you're doing and pulling forward on it is holding it in place while you press forward to tighten that hump. Let's just now at this point, it's a mistake if I tighten it right away. What I want to do is relax the thread, pull up on the hair, and now while I'm holding up on it, I'll snug down. And that makes sure that that hump on the humpy stays right up on top where I want it. And as you can see, that's exactly what happened. Now let's just trim off the waist. And how we trim this is very important. There we go. I'll get rid of that. Notice that I left it fairly long. Too often people will cut it a little bit too short, and then in a very short time, the hair starts popping out from under. And you see here how I've just got a good hackle platform there. Now this is a nylon stretch is about a size probably pretty close to a 240 denier. Now what I'm going to do is reach over in my thread, and I'm going to get out a spool of fluorescent green nylons 6/0, and then I'll just switch, get rid of that nylon stretch that I was using to make the body. Now let me get my hackle out here, and let's just make sure that it's going to be the right length. It looks like it's pretty good. Um, and I'll just throw a 1/2 inch in so my here that thread doesn't slip off of the hook eye. And I'll get started wrapping. Now, one of the things about tying hair wing flies is when you get up to the wing, what you want to do is take a turn in front of the wing and take another turn behind the wing as you're wrapping that hackle forward so that you fill in the gap under the wing on the offside. Now I'm just going to tie that off with a turn and a second turn, and just like Gretchen did a little bit ago, now I'm going to dogleg that back, pull it back, and wrap back over that hackle feather to make a nice clean head. And I'll just go ahead now and put on a 1/2 hitch and a whip finish. I want you to notice that I'm using the 1/2 hitch tool for the 1/2 hitch, obviously, but I'm going to use the tool also to make a whip finish. The way you slide that off of there will determine just how There we go. That looks good. Set that aside. Now it's time to get got one hair there we go. It was from the wing that got caught in the hackle. And there's a completed humpy. And that will be going in the box as soon as I put on some glue. Reach over here and get my glue. Oh, mine's a little bit off-colored too, Gretch. I think we both took the summer to do some gardening, and kind of looks like the needle on our glue got a little bit rusted.
I'm kind of covering up the white and ensuring that I've got a nice smooth body here. Because I decided to get creative.
Okay, well, I'm going to set this one aside. And now you already know how the fly setup is made. So I'm just going to tie another humpy. And I'll go to the nylon stretch, which is like 240. It's a stretchy 240 denier floss. And I'll wrap back and everything in kind of in place. Build it up a little bit like I did on the other one. I want you to notice that when I'm getting ready to tie on that bundle of elk hair, that I left a pretty good amount of space between my tie-in point and the wings, because I guarantee you, it's very, very easy when you tie the bundle on like that to overdress and have that pushing too far forward.
I'm going to start my fly out with a little bit of a quill body. And as you notice, I'm tying this quill on the underside of the shank, trying to make sure that my platform here for that is nice and smooth. So I'll just start wrapping this quill that I've for some reason I keep pulling that away. I think my thread might be kind of in my way. There we go. That's better. I start out with the smallest end of the rachis so that as I come forward, the body has a little more shape to it. So I'm going to go about that far. I'm going to tie that off now. Well, I was going to put in some dubbing, but on second thought, I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to just finish this off this way.
Okay, remember on the hump, I want to relax the thread and pull up in the hair, and now I cinch down. And what that does is just ensures that the bundle of hair does not slip down around, down around the hook. And I'll trim this off, and remember, don't trim it off too short. You can cover up those waist ends with the thread under the hackle platform and keep your fly from coming apart. Alrighty.
I'm going to put a little dubbing on my thread.
Okay, switching to 6/0 thread from the nylon stretch. Trim that off. And I'll get my hackle. And remember now, when I wrap that hackle in front of the wing, I want to go in front one turn, then back again, so that I close the gap on the far side of the hook that will show up in the wrapped hackle right under the wing if I don't do that. So in front.
Dubbing wax had dried out over the summer, so I had to skim it a little bit. So let's see if it's working better now.
It's amazing what we haven't tied for the part of the summer and the number of things we've misplaced and got to look around and find, and you have to retreat your dubbing wax and a whole lot of things. The glue that got discolored from the rusty bodkin in the jar.
This is Touchathon dubbing that has some little bit of Antron in it. So just give it a nice twist.
All right, that's looking pretty good. And then dressed in the Western style, which is a very full hackle, as compared to our friends in the Catskill area, where they would maybe dress this fly just a little bit sparser. But anyway, that's a fly ready for the Yellowstone or wherever it's destined. But anyway, I think it's about enough for today, don't you think, Gretch?
Yeah, except I need to tie my hackle on.
Go right ahead, do the hackle, and then we'll finish up.
So I'm going to do a bit of grizzly and brown mix. So I've got my thread tie laying right behind my post. And I'm going to get my hackle here. See, here's another, I needed a brown one. Get rid of the fuzzies at the bottom. I want a fairly long bare stem on this because I want the bare stem to go clear up to the top of where I'm going to start tying down on the post. So I'm going to lay this in right here. And I'm going to come and go up the post a little bit here. A little further than what the setup was. Hold my hackle up. Whew, that hackle is a little bit long. Well, we'll see how that works. I don't know. I kind of got a little, there we go. That's going to be okay. I'm wrapping this at the same time. So I need to keep them together. In order to keep these from splitting apart, I kind of twist them together as I go a little bit. Boy, they sure don't want to stay together, do they? One more. There we go. Now I'm going to take a wrap around the bottom of it. Turn that off. Now I'm going to take another wrap around the post between the shank and the hackle to kind of tuck everything in. And to do my whip finish, I'm going to do a half hitch, but make 2 turns, which makes it a whip finish. I'll do that a couple times and just sneak it in under that hackle. Oop. I'm trying to be too careful. There we go. Now, in order to glue this, what I do on this post, and that's one reason I wanted to tie a post for you today, is I take a really thin head cement and touch in right here at the top. Now, if it's thin enough, it will soak down through and glue that. But if I'm uncomfortable with it, I can always turn it up and put. Well, for some reason, I'm not getting enough head cement. I guess I made it a little weak today. There we go. And there's a parachute.
Gretchen, that looks wonderful.
Yeah, I wanted to do a um, what?
Parachute post.
Well, the body. Oh, I did a. Oh, come on. Ah.
What, a quill body or?
Well, thank you. The
Yeah.
quill body. So I did a quill tail, and then I put in the dubbing right around the post. And I think it looks kind of cool.
Yep, sure does. I'm going to tie off this hump and then we'll wrap up
Take a look at it.
today's video. We don't want to drive everybody crazy with just continually doing the same thing over and over. That's one of the things about being a commercial tire. You do repeat yourself once in a while. In fact, a reply pattern a bunch of times.
Well, I think I'll do another one of those posts so that I've got at least 2 of those in the box. That's just a little variety.
Yep.
I hadn't done a quill body in a while, so it was kind of fun.
Well, let's
For the quill body, what I look for lots of times is that kind of something that's like kind of a grizzly. This one is a grizzly with some red. And then that gives me a little variety in my quill. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm stripping it. You're going to sign off. You're going to just keep boring them.
oh, I was waiting for you to get done and then I started another one, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. I think I've done enough of these that folks kind of have an idea how to take, number one, to build a setup, and number two, to take that setup and turn it into whatever fly they want to turn it into. Anything you want to say to the folks that we're signing off here, dear?
No, I don't have anything except have a good rest of your summer. We may show up again. Oh dear, what happened to my...
Well, then for now, it's a wrap until next time. We don't know when next time will be. It might be tomorrow. It might be a week from now. See you then.